Good morning, students. Last time we have finished a chapter from our syllabus, that is reproduction in lower and higher plants. Now we are going to study a next chapter from our syllabus, that is plant growth and mineral nutrition. Plant growth and mineral nutrition. This is a next chapter which we are going to study in detail. Now plant growth and mineral nutrition. Plant growth and mineral nutrition. Now friends, all of you might have observed in the nature, organism shows growth, but growth pattern is different in plant and animal. Growth pattern is different in plant and animal. Now in plant, for example, there are two types of the plant, that is the lower plant and higher plant. Now higher plants are known as a vascular plant, that are multicellular plant, and in this plant growth is indeterminate, that is they show a continuous growth over a life. And growth is one of the important aspect of living organism, or growth is one of the important characteristic feature of the living organism. Now next one is a definition of growth. Now we will define growth. Growth is defined as a permanent, permanent and irreversible increase in bulk of an organism. Growth is defined as a permanent and irreversible increase in bulk of an organism is known as growth. याला काय म्हणणार आपण? Growth म्हणणार. That is two important word, that is permanent and irreversible increase in bulk of an organism is known as growth. Now growth takes place in two aspects. There are two aspects found in the growth. That aspects of the growth are known as a qualitative and quantitative aspect. Qualitative and quantitative aspect. All of you knowing quality and quantity. Now we are going to study this aspect. That is the first one is a quantitative aspect. Quantitative aspect. Now it consists of increase in the length of plant or plant part, increase in the length of the plant or plant part, then also breadth of the plant, increase in the breadth of the plant, that is the diameter of the stem, branches and root, that increase in the breadth of the plant part, then also size of the plant, volume of the plant, also body mass of the plant, and also number of cells. Now increase in length, breadth, size, volume, body mass, and also a number of cells, etc. are quantitative aspects of the growth, etc. are the quantitative aspects of the growth. Now then next one is we are going to study a qualitative aspects of the growth. Now qualitative aspects of the growth, these qualitative aspects of the growth consist of development, that is development takes place in the plant part or in the plant body. That is when plant matures or attains mature, then it produces by producing a special reproductive organ. For example, flowering plant produces flower, male and female reproductive. That is a development, like change in nature of growth, change in nature of the growth pattern change होता असेल, and also differentiation of cell and organ, differentiation of cell and organ, like higher and more complex state, higher and more complex state. This one is a qualitative aspect of the growth. It is consisting of development in plant parts or in plant organ, like also like change in nature of growth, and also a differentiation, like higher and more complex state organ or tissues are produced. Now this one is a qualitative change or qualitative aspects of the growth. Thus we have studied two aspects of the growth, that is quantitative and qualitative. Now all of you know in nature there are two types of the plants are found, that is the unicellular plant and a multicellular plant. Now there is no question in unicellular plant of growth. Now then next one, multicellular organism shows growth The multicellular organism may be a vascular or non-vascular. Now multicellular vascular plant shows indeterminate growth, that is unlimited growth. Multicellular vascular plant shows indefinite or indeterminate growth. Now this is found in the plants like a gymnospermic flowering plant and angiospermic plant, which are vascular plants in which growth is indeterminate, and these plants are multicellular organisms. These plants are known as multicellular plants in which growth is continuous or indeterminate or indefinite. Now the next one is growth is restricted to certain parts of the plant. That is when we observe plant and plant parts in the nature, growth is generally restricted to the apical parts of the plant. Also it is restricted to the peripheral part of the plant organ. Now thus growth is restricted to definite part of the plant or specific region of the plant. That regions are known as the meristem. That regions are known as the meristem. Meristem is made up of a specific type of tissue. That tissue is known as a meristematic tissue. That tissue is known as a meristematic tissue. Now in the meristematic tissue, new cells are produced continuously. New cells are produced continuously, and that new cells are added in the plant body, and it results in the growth of the plant. It results in the growth of the plant. Then what is meant by meristem or meristematic tissue? The tissue which are generally lies at the apices or at the apex of the plant part, that tissues are known as a meristematic tissue. And property of this tissue divides rapidly and adds new cell in the plant body and helps in increasing growth of the plant. Now there are three types of the meristems are found in the nature. There are three types of the meristems are found in the nature. First one is known as apical meristem. First one is known as apical meristem. First one is apical meristem. Second one is intercalary meristem. Intercalary meristem. And third one is a lateral meristem. Third one is a lateral meristem. Now we are going to study with the example this meristems in detail. Now consider here these three meristems which are found in the plants and which is responsible for the growth of the plant, which are responsible for all-rounder growth of the plant. Now here first consider this one is a plant. This one is a plant, and this one is apex of the plant, and this one is a stem of the plant. This one is a branch of the plant in this way. Now here leaves are produced from the plant part. Now suppose here a leaf is produced. From this also a leaf is produced. Now here also a leaf is produced. Now all of you knowing this one is apical part of the stem or branch, or this one is apex of the root. Apex of the root. Now these are the roots of the branches, and this one is apex of the root. Now the meristem or meristematic tissue which lies at the apices of the plant part, that is at the apical parts of the plant, that meristem is known as apical meristem. Now this one is apex of the stem. Here a tissue is present. That tissue is known as apical meristem. That tissue is known as apical meristem. Now this one is also apex of the branch. Here it is also a tissue. That tissue is known as apical meristem. Also at the apex of the growing tips of the root, there is the presence of tissue. That tissue is also known as apical meristem. Now this meristem present at the apices of the plant part, like stem apex, a branch apex or root apex, shows the presence of tissue. That tissue is known as apical meristem. Then cells of apical meristem divides very rapidly and it adds new cell in the plant body, and thus it helps in increasing length of the plant part or height of the plant part. Apical meristem helps for increasing length of the plant part, or it helps in increasing height of the plant part. Now this is about apical meristem. This is about apical meristem. Then next one is intercalary meristem. All of you knowing the point on the branch of the stem from which leaf originates. That point is known as node. This is one node and this one is the second node. This one is a second node. Now this much the distance between two nodes. That distance between two nodes is known as a internode. This is well known to all of you, which we have studied in 11th standard. Now the next one is the intercalary meristem. The meristem which is present at the nodal region, in this way. Now that meristem is known as a intercalary meristem. That meristem is known as a intercalary meristem. This one is a intercalary meristem which lies at the nodal region or at the base of internodal region. Now this one is a nodal region, and here this one is the base of the internode, and here the meristem tissue is present. That tissue is known as the intercalary meristem. And this intercalary meristem which are present at the nodal region or at the base of internodal region, which helps in increasing internodal distance. It helps in increasing internodal distance, that is the distance between the two nodes, and also it produces a leaf primordia or branch primordia. It produces a leaf and a branch primordia. Now the leaf and branch primordia are produced from the intercalary meristem. It also helps in increasing internodal distance of the stem or branch. Then next one is this intercalary meristem also produces birds. That birds may be vegetative birds or reproductive birds. If it is a vegetative bird, then it gives rise of branches. If it is a reproductive bird, then it gives rise of flower. Thus, intercalary meristem, the meristem which is present at the nodal region or at the base of internodal region, that meristem is known as the intercalary meristem. And this intercalary meristem helps for the production of leaf and branch primordia. Also, it helps in production of birds. That birds may be vegetative birds or that birds may be reproductive birds. Now, next type of meristem is known as a lateral meristem. The word itself suggests lateral meristem. Now, this is found in case of a higher plant. It is found in case of a higher vascular plant. Now, in case of higher vascular plant, the vascular bundles are produced. For example, when we take the tears of this stem or root, then it appears circular like this, and in this the vascular bundles are produced like this. This is the number of vascular bundles are produced, and in the vascular bundle there is the presence of a meristematic tissue. These vascular bundles are arranged in a definite manner. In this way, these vascular bundles are arranged in a definite manner in this way, and in this vascular bundle, a meristematic tissue or strip of meristematic tissue is present. That one is known as a cambium. Suppose there a meristematic tissue, here also a meristematic tissue in this vascular bundle. that meristematic tissue is known as a cambium. That meristematic tissue is known as a cambium. This one is, keep it in mind, this one is a vascular bundle found in the vascular tissue, vascular plant, found in the vascular plant like angiospermic and gymnospermic plant. Now this vascular bundle consists of vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem, and in between the xylem and phloem there is the presence of meristematic tissue. That one is known as a cambium. That one is known as a cambium, and that cambium helps in increasing girth of the stem or girth of the root or branches by adding new cell, in both sides, and that tissue is known as that meristem is known as lateral meristem. This one is a cambium. It is known as a lateral meristem. It is known as a lateral meristem, and this lateral meristem helps in increasing diameter. It helps in increasing diameter, that is the width of stem and branches, or root and its branches, takes place with the help of lateral meristem. Lateral meristem is found in the form of a strip of a meristematic tissue. That one is known as cambium. Cambium is a lateral meristem. It helps in increasing diameter or girth of the stem. Thus, friends, we have studied a meristem apical. It present at the apex and it adds new cell, and it helps in increasing length of the plant part. That the length of the root and length of stem is increased with the help of apical meristem, which is present at the apices. Then next one is intercalary meristem. It is present in between the internodal region, or at the nodal region, or at the base of the nodal region, the internodal region, and it helps in the production of leaf and branch primordia. It also produces buds. Now buds are produced like this. Here, this one is a bud which is produced from the intercalary meristem. Then next one is a lateral meristem, which presents in the form of meristematic tissue as a strip in the higher vascular plant. That one is known as a cambium. And this cambium helps for the increasing, or lateral meristem helps for the increasing diameter or width of the higher vascular plant. Now, here we are going to finish this lecture now. Tomorrow we are going to study next bit from the same chapter.